Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power. I'm Mike Griffith, Bakersfield, California. Motorsports rider, we are in the Bakersfield Speedway segment, and Scott Schweitzer is gone, and we've got Aaron Stewart in, one of the scorers up there at the Speedway, and a former racer now. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing good.
Aaron, he posted, I think, this week that you've got your car for sale.
Yeah, I need to sell the car for right now, and maybe in the future I'll come back and get some more laps under my belt.
Yep, that's kind of what happens here. Racing is not an inexpensive endeavor at any level. And I don't care if you're racing radio control cars, which Aaron still does. You haven't sold your radio control stuff yet, have you?
I've got to play with something.
Okay, so which is cheaper than real race cars.
A lot easier to work on, too.
There you go. So you're out there at Bakersfield Speedway on Saturday night. Had a pretty good show. I think we might as well hop into it. The hobby stocks. This was a heck of a race. As I thought it was pretty good racing from throughout the field, because the drivers found a lot of places to find areas to race on the racetrack. It wasn't one groove. We saw a gaggle of cars back there. Michael Scruggs here in the 91 led early. The 59 car. No, that's not Mike Hill.
Yeah, just halfway through the night, I guess Tyler Johnson decided he was going to go pick up his boss's car and come play with it. And
yeah, it was an interesting thing because he shows up late. He said in the interview that it was like 7 o'clock at night. Steven says, "Hey, let's get the car and go out there and run it." He says, "Well, let's call the boss." Mike I think he was up at the race in Washington. He was on vacation or something, and he gave his blessing. So they go out there and, as they call it, tagging the rear of the field, started dead last and worked his way to the front. And he got the win. Little drama on Facebook between the Johnsons and Mr. Scruggs, who thought that there was a little too much contact coming down the front straight to make the pass. And the video's up there on the Power Hour Facebook page, so you can watch the video.
Yeah, there was contact between the two leaders as Johnson was going for the lead, and fortunately that saw Michael Scruggs drop out of the race, and Tyler went on to win.
Yeah, and I don't think there was any maliciousness on the contact. I watched it again after the little drama played out on Facebook, and so watched it again, and it looks to me, yeah, they came together, but it was racing, and they're making a pass for a lead, and watch the video. Wasn't anything horribly blatant on either driver, but there was contact, and Scruggs ended up breaking apart, spinning the next turn. Tyler Johnson went on. He was fast. Let's face it, he had the fastest car out there at the end of the race, at the beginning of the race and in the middle of the race.
Yeah, that car can drive around pretty much anybody on the track with the right driver in it.
Yeah, and that's one of the right drivers out there. Marcus Wonkum, a solid finish for him, hung around and got 91 in the 91. Second place finish in the yellow 91 car. Rob Gallagher all the way from San Jose. I guess he came up with his brother.
That was actually his father.
His father
was his father's from Virginia, and I suppose maybe he was visiting, and I guess they decided to go racing and came and joined us.
They came down from San Jose to go racing and finished up pretty good. Rob started a little slow, but he got the hang of it, got the hang of the traffic and everything, and finished third. So good finish for him. And then Jaden Schweitzer fourth, and Carl Noland in fifth place there in the hobby stocks. Then we had these are kind of a fun division. The used to be the Okie Bowl hardtops. Now they're politically correct. They are the Bakersfield hardtops. Kind of they take the type of cars that would run back in the late 40s and early 50s out at the Speedway and other dirt tracks or pavement tracks throughout California. That was the era, and they tried to make them pretty period correct on what they looked like, and some of the paint jobs are much like that. And they had about 10 or 12 cars out there. They start losing a few as the season goes on, but I talked to some of the guys, and we're going to actually have a story run on Friday on them because they're going to be racing at KCRP on Friday night. So I figured it's a good time to do a story on these guys and how the division started. It used to be just pretty much exhibition, and now guess what? They've got a points fund, and they're serious.
Yeah, these guys race hard, and in this particular race, the pink number 5 that we saw a minute ago, that's Mark McCaslin, who also races hobby stocks. He dominated the race. He redrew the front row of the main event, and he drove away from the field. And on the last lap, his transmission had problems.
Yeah, he started getting a little closer. It's funny. I know he was talking about transmission problems before the race with somebody I know. and talking about how it was doing something, but once he got going, it was fine. Well, he was in turn 4, and that thing just slowed, and he got passed on both sides coming to the line, and so he finished third.
He finished about third place by about 50 feet as they crossed the line 3 wide.
Yeah,
Just
so
50 feet too short in the transmission.
He led all the way out, but a good win for Justin Yaden. Comes in and gets the win in the 68 car, nice looking car there. Rich Souza also made that last pass of McCaslin, who was a sandwich. He was the meat of the sandwich as they passed him.
Yeah, any of those 3 cars could have won that coming to the line.
And finished there. And Bobby Courtney, who will be 71 years old this fall in the 97 car, came in 4th. He says he was sucked into that division a few years ago by Mark McCaslin. So a good run for the hardtops. And if you want to go see what it looked like back in the day, go out to KCRP on Friday night, take a look at those guys. So got that. And we had late models there. And yes, Larry Childress retired from racing. And that's the 17 of Larry Childress, who allowed Ricky Childress Jr., his nephew, to get in the car. And Ricky rode up on the wall during, that was the first heat race, turn 4. And Jackie Wood sitting there in the wheelchair, who has been driving too. Jackie's just like looking at him saying, ain't the way to do it, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky was really fast in that car. He was running, I think, 2nd place in the heat race, maybe 3rd, when he got up in the wall and just got a little too high, and he was really pushing hard. And
a lot of damage. They said they had to go get a complete new rear end, and along with some front end suspension damage. He got out there. He said it wasn't right during the main event, but got out there. Sad thing is this, as we look at Cody Laney and Mr. Nick Bartels here, only 5 cars. The late models have really fallen on hard times. There's some cars that are sitting around and not coming to races for whatever reason, and drivers can have all the excuses they want in the world, but I can't see, as Nick went on and won this, led basically start to finish, I think.
Yes.
Got out there early and led, and a good run for Nick, who's a solid driver, but you see that, I think, if you're getting 5 cars, it's not a division. Cody Laney was 2nd, Rob Sanders finished 3rd, Rick Childress 4th, and Corey McDonald with, I believe that's a crate engine in that car, really not competitive with the crate engine, the weight rules the way they are now. He finished 5th. So late models, a couple of races supposed to be coming up, and we'll see what happens there, because 5 cars is just a tough field.
Yeah, there's lots of cars around. If maybe we can organize them and get a good solid amount of them there, it'll be a great show. They're a wonderful division.
They're a great division. They're fun to watch, but you need, I used to think 9 was a thin field. 5's a really thin field. So we'll go on from there to the next thing. So you had the NMRA midgets, not a large field. And this, you're getting into the summer doldrums a bit too. It's hot. People are on vacation. There's a million excuses not to go racing. Out of money, on vacation, it's hot. Out of money, on vacation, it's hot. Those are 3 great ones. But familiar face on for the NMRA 3/4 midgets, and that was Chuck West in the 36 car. He got out there, got the lead, and then he was being caught. West Evans was chasing him pretty good, but a win for him there in that series. And those 2 guys are the best there, Chuck West and Scott Allen. Or was that right? I got that wrong. I thought West Evans was 2nd, but I don't know what happened in there. But anyway.
I don't know who Scott Allen is.
Yeah, so there you go. NMRA 3/4 midgets. And we had the mini dwarfs back at Bakersfield Speedway this weekend. I think we had about 12 in each division somewhere.
Juniors had 14.
14, so right around, because that's what Scott wants to run, his 12-car main events, basically, because as you said, as a scorer, it's hard to keep score on those little guys lapping that track pretty fast. And so some pretty good racing there in the junior mini dwarf division as usual, and not a surprise there. That's Jet Yantis in the 1. That's
added another sticker.
Red Rocket there, and Ms. Cotton with the win there in the senior mini dwarf division. Mr. Yantis in a familiar position in the junior mini dwarf position. 2 very fast young racers there. You get Kennedy Cotton
And
there.
Jet knows he's fast too.
Jet knows he's fast.
He is on that throttle all the time.
Yeah, he doesn't back out of that throttle much at all. Jacob Carey, solid runner-up finish. Tyler Blankenship, he's another fast driver in the 17 car there. Third, Brody Graham, I think he's won a race this year. He finished fourth, and Mason Ratcliffe fifth in the...
Those seniors are a very competitive division. A lot of different winners in them.
Oh, yeah. And then you got Jet Yantis, Trenton Rickle, Stryker Connolly, solid car there, Bryson Martin, and Chloe Cotton. So the young guys. And then the night finished with what they call the SoCal Enduros. And maybe you can explain this. These are basically mini stocks. Some of them pretty stock mini stocks from what I get, because there were horns beeping out there. And Scott takes the water truck, or somebody does, puts water all over the track, and then they come in and run some of the infield, so they have to make some left or right-hand turns on just a snotty racetrack.
Yeah, this is a division that was started out at Willow Springs a couple of years ago, and as they continued to grow, they wanted to expand to other tracks. I don't know if they ran Orange Show, which was a little bit south, but they wanted to come to Bakersfield and run on the dirt. And they brought some cars. They invited the Bakersfield mini stocks to join them, and as it's grown, some of the Bakersfield mini stocks have built their own enduro cars. There's Kip Murphy and Andy Boydston in that photo. And the division keeps growing. They had 16 cars this past race, and it was, I think they're a hoot.
Yeah, if you're looking, go ahead and show the finish here. If you're looking for speed, this isn't going to be your cup of tea. But if you're looking for cars that don't steer very well on a snotty racetrack, this is it. So Brady Mertz with the win there. I think the winner gets the lion's share of the money, too.
Yeah, it was $600 to win this race. Then it moves down to $200 and $100 for second and third.
There you go. And they pretty much pay their own way with their fees or whatever, their entry fees and stuff, and it goes toward the purse. And kind of a fun division there. So
about 16 laps into the race, fighting for the lead, Sean Schwarzenberger got into one of the tires, rolled his car over.
That's right.
Went all the way over, and drove off as we start to throw the red flag.
Threw the red flag, made sure everything was okay, because it was a really slow roll, because he was going really slow.
We checked the car out. It was good to go. We threw the green again. He was still in the lead.
They're good, and he stayed there, and he finished third for a good finish for him. So this week, coming up, you've got the IMCA Modifieds, the Sport Mods, part of a 2-day Motor City Throwdown deal with an extra $2,500 for the weekend spread out among the top 20 drivers. It's Friday night out at KCRP, Saturday night at Bakersfield Speedway. Motocross style finish, 1-2, 2-1. Best overall finish from the two races, and the points are determined that way. So it's extra money for a Motor City GMC for that. You got the Pro Stocks, the IMCA stocks, American stocks, and the mini stocks, 7 p.m. on Saturday at Bakersfield Speedway. And real quickly, almost out of time, but I saw on Facebook that Scott Pounds has his IMCA car and trailer up for sale for another racer getting out. I did a little feature on Scott Pounds earlier this season, so you can find that on bakersfield.com. Been running a long time. Sad to see him go, because he was pretty competitive this year.
Yeah, Scott's had a great season. As we entered the midway in the season, he had some problems. He wrecked a car and had to get another one, and unfortunately right now he's got to put things up for sale.
Yeah, so things are for sale there. So anyway, get out. Bakersfield Speedway, 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, about 5 or 6 divisions of racing. Get out there and see some good dirt track racing. We'll be back with the Famosa Raceway segment in a minute.